So here we have our map of Canada and the United States and even a little bit of Mexico. And this first box here, which I'm coloring in yellow, I have to find the same pattern. It's way up here in this little patch, and I'm going to color it the same color. What I'm doing with this map is I'm making this map show me where Alaskan brown bears are. Oh, this is the pattern in yellow for Alaskan brown bears. Here they are up here. I'm going to look at the next bear on my list. This one says polar bears. I'm going to choose a different color like green. And I'm going to find that same pattern. Oh, here it is up in the north. And I'm going to color this area green. Make sure you're coloring only the pattern, not out here where there's no pattern, not down here where there's not the same pattern. Only the pattern. And this is a bit of a tricky one because polar bears live up in the north. And up in the north, it freezes over on the ocean. So they're able to walk or swim, because polar bears are excellent swimmers. They're able to walk or swim to all these little islands where you will also find polar bears. So all these little patches I'm doing up top here, these are actually islands, which in the summer, the polar bear might have to swim to or just stay living on it. In the winter, the polar bear could probably walk across here to these different islands. There's even a patch here on this place called Greenland. So that pattern of little square dots matches that one. Polar bears, this is now where I can see polar bears are found. I'm going to grab a different color. I'm going to go with some blue. This bottom one down here is the same pattern as this one. So now I'm going to color all of this pattern in blue. And this part of the map that I've now covered in blue matches this square here, which says grizzly bears. So now I know grizzly bears are found in this blue area. Alaskan brown bears, which are very similar, are found up here in the yellow. Polar bears are found all up here in the green. And I have one more left to do. I'll grab my fourth color, red. I saved this one to last because this one is the largest area. These are our little black bears, which come in black, brown, blonde, reddish, even in white commode colors. And they are found all up and down the coast of British Columbia, even a few on Vancouver Island. All in here, but also down here in the United States, all the way down into California, way down here even into Mexico. How do I know that? I guess I've just learned that through all the videos and books and things I've been watching and reading. Now, this little white area here, try not to color that little white area there because those are lakes. So we know a bear doesn't live in the middle of water. No. He doesn't live in a lake any more than he lives in the ocean. But all over here, it's this grayish brown on our map. This is all... So look at it. Even black bears living way over here on the other side of Canada, as far away from us as possible. So the largest space that I'm coloring in, even way up here in Alaska, the largest space that I had to color in, and I chose red here, that's for this red, which is our black bear. So now I know where Alaskan brown bears are, grizzly bears are, polar bears are, and then this huge red area is where all the black bears are. So they're the widest spread bear. They're the most popular bear. And this is where we live right here on the island. Right there. Right there. Few, not too many. Right here in this picture, mother bear, her little cubs coming out. It says, bears come out of their dens. Do we know what season bears come out of their den? Do they come out in the spring? In the summer? In the fall? Or in the winter? Any guesses? In the spring. S-P-R-I-N-G. Spring's going to be the first one. Let's take a look at the next one. Mother bears teach their cubs to find food and to be safe. Well, a lot of that teaching, that happens in our very next season here. Summer. big capital S. And again, I can copy the word from up top. Bears eat a lot to get fat. You got it, it's fall. Fall is the next one up here. Big capital F, we talked about that in this morning's spelling. Capital F means it's the name of the season. We've got spring, summer, fall. Guess what? That only leaves one season left. Let's see if it matches. Bears sleep in their dens. So when do the bears go into their dens to sleep?
Hibernate.
Yeah, to hibernate. What season? You got it. Winter. Big capital W. Again, the word's up here. I can copy it. Winter. So now I know what the bears do all year long. Right now, this time of season, it's fall. Bears are eating a lot to get fat because they hibernate in the winter, which means they're not hunting. There's no food for them. Salmon aren't in the rivers anymore. Bugs are, hibernating themselves. There's no bugs. None of the trees have berries on them or apples on them, right? They can't eat much of anything. There's snow on the ground, so they sleep. Then in the spring, they wake up and they come out of their den. And then in the summer, they spend lots of time teaching their cubs how to catch those fish, how to find those apples, how to eat those berries, how to find those ants and grubs that are underneath roots and under rocks, what things they can eat. Now, there's one more job to do, and that is these pictures need some color. Now you might say, but they can be polar bears. They can't, and here's why. There's no trees where polar bears live. There are no trees where polar bears live. So I'm gonna make these guys brown bears. I'm gonna color them. So this picture is gonna need some color. So I'm gonna give these bears, these are gonna be brown bears or grizzly bears. I'm gonna leave this snow on the mountains here, but this is water because she's catching a fish. So I'm gonna do my careful coloring. Down here I've got a tree, so leaves need to be colored. Trees are brown. Here they are in the winter, fast asleep in their den again. And these cubs look like they've grown. They look like they're bigger. They're so small in this picture. They're a little bigger, quite a bit bigger by the time winter comes around and they've eaten so much food. So it says, which bear am I? Number 1, I live near the North Pole. Sophia, what was that answer again? Polar bear. So we're going to write polar right here. P-O-L-A-R. And you don't have to write the word bear because they already put the word bear there. Polar. All right, here's question number 2. I am good at fishing. I am good at fishing. Which bear do you think it might be, Damaris? Yeah, you got it. Grizzly bear or brown bear, either one will work. Grizzly, G-R-I-Z-Z-L-Y. And you don't have to write bear because they put it. I am good at fishing. Grizzly bear. Number 3, I am the smallest North American bear. Smallest bear in Canada. Again, you only have 4 choices. Grizzly, or brown, polar bear, or black. Which bear is the smallest bear? Cohen, what bear is the small? You got it right, black bear. So we're gonna write the word or the color, black, B-L-A-C-K. And we don't have to write bear. I am the smallest North American bear, black bear. Question number 4 says, I live in the Rocky Mountains. I live in the Rocky Mountains. Which bear do you think that might be, Mila? Not the polar bear. Good guess, though. Good guess. Not the polar bear. Which one do you think, Hudson? Yeah, brown bear or grizzly bear. Either one will work. Absolutely. So brown bear, we could put that in as B-R-O-W-N. Remember, brown bear and grizzly bear, they really are the same bear, just different names for them. Brown bear. Okay, which bear am I? Question number 5 says, I am a good tree climber. And remember, we're only talking about Canadian bears. So the great big huge grizzly or brown bear, the polar bear that lives far up north, or the black bear. Those are our only choices. I am a good tree climber. Which one do you think it might be, Damaris?
Black bear.
Yeah, it's our black bear. He's our smallest bear, which makes it easy for him to climb trees. No. Makes it easy for him to climb trees. Polar bear, where they live, there are no trees. So polar bears aren't climbing trees because there aren't any. And grizzly bears, if they're a cub, they could probably climb a tree, yes. But a full-grown grizzly, he's too big and too heavy. They won't climb up trees. They'll put big scratch claw marks into trees. They won't climb them. The black bear's our only Canadian bear that really climbs trees all the time. So which bear am I? Number 6. I have a hump on my shoulders. I have a hump on my shoulders. You might get it from the little pictures. I don't know. You might. Which one do you think it might be there, Sydney? Yeah, you got it in one. Grizzly bear or brown bear. Grizzly bear has a hump on his shoulder. G-R-I-Z-Z-L-Y. Grizzly. Grizzly bear. Okay. Which bear am I? Number 7. Good thing I was talking about that map to begin with. I live in Alaska where I catch salmon. I live in Alaska where I catch salmon. Which one of our 4 bears is it going to be? Let's try Savannah back there. Savannah, what do you think? I live in Alaska and I catch salmon. Ooh, good guess, but no, not our black bear. Our black bear will, I guess, catch salmon sometimes, but he really likes to eat plants and berries and that kind of stuff more. No, this bear needs to get big and fat, does a lot of eating salmon. Well, what do you think, Hunter? Which bear? Yeah, you got it. They actually call this one the Alaskan brown bear. So I would choose to put the word brown over grizzly. Not that it matters, because a brown bear and a grizzly bear are the same bear. But because this bear lives not in Canada, but lives in the United States, in a state up north called Alaska, they call them the Alaskan brown bear. But grizzly's okay. All right. Which bear am I? Number 8. Listen carefully. A lot of kids don't realize this part. They think of the white, but they don't think about the yellow. My fur is yellow-white to help me hide. Which bear might have a yellow-white fur? And the yellow might confuse you, so think more about the white part. What do you think, Miss Tanya?
Is it polar
You
bear?
got it. It is polar bear. P-O-L-A-R. Now, a lot of kids will say to me, yellow, white? Mr. C, I thought polar bears were white. Next time you see a video or a picture of a polar bear cub next to its polar bear mother, watch and look how much whiter the cub is. When they're first born, their fur is very white. As they grow older, their fur starts to look yellow. Here's the truth of it, though, and this is going to sound really weird. When you actually look at their fur, it's almost more clear and see-through than it is colored white or yellow. Okay, their fur is actually hollow. Helps to keep the heat in. Polar bear, P-O-L-A-R, is the one that my fur is yellow to white to help me hide. We're going to label this back foot and we're going to color it, and I'm going to show you the proper colors because there is proper colors here. So, just like up here, claw, first one is claw, C-L-A-W. Just like this one up here, toe pad, this one is pointing to the toe pad. Toe, separate word, pad. This part here says sole pad, that middle part. On here, the arrow is pointing to the sole pad. And up here on the front foot, the smaller front foot, here it says fur that the arrow is pointing to. This. So here, this arrow is pointing to the fur. So I'm going to label those 4 words, claw, toe pad, sole pad, and fur, on the back foot of this bear. Now, here's one thing I do know about bears, and it doesn't matter what color the bear is. Whether it's a polar bear, whether it's a black-colored black bear, or a light brown-colored black bear, or a koala bear, or a sun bear, or a spectacled bear. All of them have black sole pads and toe pads. I'm going to color this part black. Very carefully, just the inside. And same with the toe pads. They are black. So while our skin could be white or beigey pink or black in color, their skin is black, and it doesn't matter what kind of bear. So the whole inside is black for sure. I'm going to choose to do mine brown though, so that I can show the 2 different colors. So now I'm coloring the fur. And they have a lot of fur. Unlike us, we don't really have any fur around our hands or feet. And so both the smaller front foot and the bigger back foot needs to be colored. And I'm choosing to do mine as a brown-colored brown bear or grizzly bear, or it could be a brown-colored black bear. We're going to write polar on here. You don't have to worry about the word bear because it's already been written for you. Why do we think this is the polar bear, though? Looks like it has the most padding around the footprint. The footprint isn't very deep, is it? Because this bear doesn't sink into the snow. It's got all this padding. The padding is actually fur. It's got extra fur around its footprints. All right, that's one done. Now, we have 2 bear prints here and 2 bears left. Which bear do you think belongs to these footprints? Do you think this is the big grizzly or the smaller black bear? You guys are right. I'm going to write the word black, B-L-A-C-K. That's down here at the bottom. Black bear. I don't have to write the word bear. It's already there for me. Why do you guys think this is the black bear? Yeah, so taking a look at these footprints compared to these ones up here, which are bigger, and these ones down here, which are bigger, that's got to be our small black bear. You're right. We've only got 1 bear print left and only 1 name left. These paw prints look pretty big, but they don't stay on top of snow. This is a big, heavy bear. Which bear do you think this one is? Yeah, grizzly bear, also known as the brown bear, but grizzly, G-R-I-Z-Z-L-Y. These big paw prints, the grizzly. These small ones, the black bear. And these ones with all this padding around it like snowshoes, is the polar bear. So here we have our creative writing page, and we're looking at this picture of a polar bear who looks like he's fallen down and he's landed on his back in the snow. And we see this caution sign up here. Caution signs are usually yellow in color, and they warn people of dangers. This one says, "Watch for ice." I guess that means the road would be very slippery. So usually what we do is we brainstorm a few ideas of what we think might have happened here in this picture and in this story. Then I'll often either write with a yellow highlighter so that students can write over top of it, or students will write their own copying from the board. A few of the ideas that we discussed in class about what happened in this picture were the following sentences. Polar bear was lost looking for Santa. He was walking along he could not read. He slipped and fell in the snow. I start all of my sentences with a capital letter, and I end all of them with punctuation like a period. I've done it in yellow highlighter, and some students might choose just to write one or two of those sentences instead of all of it. But put all together, it starts to tell a story. I'm going to use my pencil now and go over my yellow highlighter. Polar bear was lost looking for Santa. And I'll put a period at the end of that sentence. Santa gets a capital because it's a name. Capital P for polar bear, it's his name as well as the start of the sentence. Next sentence read, he was walking along, maybe walking along the road. He could not read. Well, of course he couldn't read. He's a polar bear, and maybe he's just a young polar bear, and he hasn't learned to read watch for ice to know that the road would be slippery. He slipped and fell in the snow. And there we go. There we've got our little story that goes with our fun picture there.